Here comes the Spud Man, he goes down easy. He calls to you who, the social outcast. Yes, you who are rejected. He wants you, he needs you, he loves you. Here comes the Spud Man, he goes down easy. Here comes the Spud Man.
It's the Spud Goodman Show. Let's get ready to rumble. And here he is, the head cheese meister. It's Spud Goodman.
Greetings, Andor Ola. Welcome to the other Spud Goodman Show. Coincidentally, I am Spud Goodman.
Spud, man.
It's very cool you're taking a few moments out of your busy existence to join us here. I'm in hopes that after the credits roll, you will leave happy and with a smile. And if not, then I'll settle for mild annoyance and not being overwhelmed with deep regret. So let's get this thing going by me introducing our designated laugher, my Aunt Dorothy. Give us a decent chuckle if you would.
Very well. How was that?
It was pretty decent. I mean, it was okay. Thanks. And now
Pretty decent. You get what you pay for, as I am a volunteer. I'm doing this as a favor to you.
And I'm very grateful, Aunt Dorothy. Now let me introduce our temporary permanent co-host, Gerald Holcomb. Hey, just acknowledge my acknowledgement, and we're all good.
I want to welcome everybody now watching, and I'm really excited about this show. I
already welcomed everyone. Let's not be redundant, okay? Well, now I'm supposed to introduce our show's intern, Chance. I see you on the screen, Chance, so you're still trying to make a go of that escape artist thing? Do you have to do this on my show? Can't you do your little performance art act in front of your parents and neighbors, maybe? I don't need any visual distractions here. You're an intern, not a featured act.
I think you got the same memo from our executive producer that I did, Spud. And it said I was the most popular member of this show. So don't make me take this up with the powers that be.
You're gonna play that card again, huh? All right, fine. Do your escape artist thing, but keep it down and don't try to upstage the host. And that would be me.
Sweetie, maybe you should practice getting out of those chains before you do it on this show.
Yeah, Chance, you never did get out of the straitjacket on the last show. And I think you need to rethink this new hobby of yours.
When I start getting booked on some big TV shows, we'll see who gets the last laugh.
Okay, before I bring on our guest, I wanted to maybe try out some of the new TED Talk stuff I've been working on for our YouTube channel. Only a few minutes, not the whole thing. Just like my opening statement. I know from watching a buttload of other TED Talks that you have to grab people in the first, 90 seconds or so. And if not, you lose them and they're off to some lame-ass damn QAnon video.
Well, you've already lost most of the viewers on this by now, and you haven't even started your TED Talk. Let's face it, I'm the only thing on the show that can grab people's attention. I know the truth hurts, Spud, but sometimes...
Hey, Chance, I'd bite your tongue on this. Trust me, this will not go well.
Sweetie, there's no need to poke the bear. And how many times have I told you this?
Fine. I'll work on my TED Talk discussion, in front of people who are maybe a bit more receptive. Maybe later in the laundry room at my apartment. Let's just bring on our guest, Pauly Shore, now.
Oh, I love Pauly Shore.
Yeah, wasn't he on that American Bandstand show back in the day?
Pauly was on MTV when my parents were in high school, Gerald. But he later became a big movie star. He was huge.
Well, he also comes from the royal family of stand-up comedy, as his mom was Massy Ferguson, who owned and ran the Comedy Store in L.A., the mecca for comedians over the last 40 years. If you guys haven't caught the Showtime documentary series, The Comedy Store, I highly recommend it, as it is freaking great. Pauly is a producer on it and appears in it. Right now, he's promoting his new movie, Guest House.
Really? I'll look for it.
If it's a raunchy PG-13 type movie, I'll pass.
It's a comedy, and it's rated R, okay? How do you do a comedy with at least a tinge of raunchiness? never mind. Trevor, are you there in the studio? I need you.
What?
Hey, man, I'm just trying to do my job here as host. I need you to do yours, okay? You are our engineer. You punch the buttons now that we have to do, this show remotely from our homes. You burn what? Probably 5 or 6 calories each show?
Do I look like someone who cares about burning calories? Dude, you get paid basically minimum wage to do this show. Get what you pay for.
Okay, fair enough. But are you really flossing your teeth right now?
Yeah, I just had a snack, a few Slim Jims, and they tend to leave remnants behind. No one is here, so who cares?
Right, but can you just put our guest Pauly Shore through now, please?
Sure, no problem. Here's Pauly.
Say hello to actor, comedian, and producer Pauly Shore. Thanks for coming on our show.
Thanks, Spud. How's it going, my man?
Not bad. So you have a new movie out, the Lionsgate release Guest House, which is now available for viewing on Blu-ray and on DVD. Correct?
Yes, sir. It's right here. Look, this is fun. See?
There you go. All right. Well, you co-star with Amy Teagarden from Friday Night Lights fame, Billy Zane, friend of the show Steve-O, and the other. Oh, actually, Bobby Lee's in it too, right?
Yeah, Bobby Lee's in it. You got, like you said, Steve-O. You got Eric Griffin, Billy Zane, all those guys. It's a fun R-rated comedy. It's very raunchy, and
Okay.
I think the world needs raunchy right now. Everything is so obviously so PC and so sensitive. So I think this
Right.
goes the other way. Yeah.
Well, can you give us the For Dummies version of the storyline? Because not that our listeners are not capable and our viewers are not capable of a detailed description, but they just kind of have a little bit of that attention deficit disorder thingy. So
Yeah,
could you give us throw it out?
It's pretty simple. I just play a guy that lives in the guest house and won't leave.
Oh, okay, all right, we'll go with that. All right, super. Well, I also assume this was shot pre-pandemic, correct? So no social distancing.
Yeah,
that
it
kind of
was.
stuff?
Yeah, we shot it at the end of 2019.
Okay.
So, we shot it then, and it's a very simple concept. It's like the movie Neighbors, or What About Bob, or War of the Roses. It's basically you got some knucklehead living in the back of the guest house, and and trouble ensues. Great music, great cast, a lot of fun.
If that was on pay-per-view, we'd be millionaires right now, for real. Right now.
Shut the up! You never shut the up!
I was trying to be your friend. Okay, I was being nice to you and being generous, and you were miserable.
Oh my God, of course I was miserable! All right? That's what growing up is. You're miserable. And you look for someone you can try to enjoy the misery with. And that's what Sarah is, okay? And then I it all up for no reason. For you, for around with you. It's insane.
Yeah, well, the Sarah thing will pass, okay? I'm more concerned about us and our relationship, okay? So what we need to do as a team, bro, as a team.
Do not touch me.
We need to move forward.
Don't touch me.
We should move forward.
There is no moving forward.
And not look in the rear view.
There's not a rear view mirror.
Yes,
there is not a rear view mirror.
What do you mean?
You're a loser. You're a loser, dude. All right? You're 50 years old and you live in a guest house.
Whatever, dude.
So no major issues to overcome, like stars refusing to come out of their trailer, or say a Christian Bale moment with the crew.
No, there was none of that. It was a very kumbaya set. Everyone was holding hands, and we all had fun. I mean,
well, full disclosure, I occasionally do go off on my co-host and sometimes on our intern Chance. It's a good stress reliever. It works for me. But anyway, well, more importantly, let's touch on the current amazing Showtime doc series, The Comedy Store, that you serve as a producer on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother, Massy Shore, was, for those who are not aware, was a very instrumental figure in the stand-up comedy world. It would take an hour or so to go through the names she broke at her club. Pretty much the biggest names in the industry of stand-up came through your life. That's kind of what I wanted to deal with before they moved on to dominate film and TV. So you had just a normal upbringing, right?
I wouldn't say it was too normal. At the time, I thought it was normal. I mean, going up around it, because at the end of the day, you're a kid. You're sitting at the house and your mom has friends over. You don't know that her friends are Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, or Richard Belzer, or all these, these people. They're just your mom's weird friends. And then the older I got, the more I realized, like, oh wow, that was pretty different. So yeah, that's why I think, you know, so many people are interested in, you know, the Comedy Store and the story of my mom and the history and all that. So, you know, I'm very proud of my mom and my father, and you know, I want to carry on their legacy and continuously telling her stories. And then hopefully I'll have kids someday and they can tell my stories and my parents' stories, you know, keep it going, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, pre-pandemic, what's your take on the state of stand-up comedy right now? Before the pandemic hit, is it sort of like the bygone days of, you know, a steroid era in baseball? Like we won't ever see the sheer number of stars jacking it out of the park like the heydays of the Comedy Store ever again? Basically, you know, was that the peak moment for funny people, and it's not coming back?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, it's sad, but true. But I think it's similar to music. I mean, there's only one Beatles, Led Zeppelin, The Who, the Rolling Stones, you know, the Clash, you know, so, right. You know, there's only one Robin Williams, Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor, Andrew Dice Clay, and you know, so it is what it is, you know, and I think after the internet came out, everything shifted, and whether it's good or bad, or whether it's just us being old, you know, I don't know, you know, but I listen to Led Zeppelin and I'm like, oh, this is badass. And then I'll listen to some other band now. I'm like, what the is that? So I think It's the same thing with comedy. I think there's funny comedians out there now, but there's no George Carlin. It's just not happening.
Well, let me close with this. It's my trite cliche talk show host question. Pauly Shore, what has been your most memorable moment in the entertainment industry?
Oh man, there's a lot. I mean, I think when I did Pauly Shore is Dead, that was like a really unfucking believable experience. I think me getting Sean Penn in that film to do a role in there, and then was pretty one of my highlights, because I'm obsessed with Sean Penn, like literally obsessed with him. Not as a person, he's a nice guy, but as his work, I think he's like the best actor out there. So that was a big deal. And then I think a lot of the Pauly Shore is Dead stuff was really, you know, I don't know, you know, that was just one of the things, you know. And then obviously Son-in-Law was a big deal for me, and Biodome was a big deal, so.
All right, super.
And
all right then.
Now we got Guest House, so it's out now.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to remind everyone that your Lionsgate movie Guest House is now available for viewing on Blu-ray and on DVD. Hey man, just thanks a whole bunch for checking in with us.
Take care, Spud.
There you have it, Mr. Pauly Shore.
Peace, brother.
This is the Spud Goodman Show.
Hey, Trevor. Hello. It's time for our musical guest.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll be done in a sec.
Hey, man, could you schedule your personal hygiene routine on your own time? I hate to play the role of the man here, but I'm just trying to do a show, and the visuals you are sending out are kind of harsh.
There's a lot of downtime being an engineer, at least on this show. I just try to make the most of my time at work. I'm pretty good at batch processing.
Just put him through, please.
All right, here he is.
Say hello to our musical guest, Ethan Anderson, from the Seattle band Massy Ferguson. Hey, before we get going, Ethan, can I ask what your favorite condiment is? I find myself asking many people this. It's a good tool, you know, to look inside a person, to find out, you know, who they really are. What do you think?
Well, you know, I'm going to go, does hot sauce count as a condiment? Like Tapatio or Cholula and stuff? I'll go with hot sauce, but I spent a number of years ago, I spent some time in Chicago, and I got really into relish, but only only when I'm in Chicago do I really get into relish.
All right, and mine's horseradish if you're curious. All right, well, let's get down to business. You and your band have toured outside the U.S. You know, given the current world public health, you know, situation that everyone's dealing with, how tough is it now to just like perform for the family at home? I'm sure you're well liked by your family members, but it's just the same. It's not like an adoring crowd yelling out for encores, though, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Now, I live in a building, and in that building, there are other people that live in the building. And when this quarantine started off, I was playing on the balcony. We got like a little balcony. I was playing there most nights of the week. And then I started to get emails from people in the building. They're like, you know, really like what you're doing, but you know, can you maybe only do like 3 or 4 nights a week? And so then I cut that back. And then I had a couple neighbors complain that they were in a business meeting and they heard me in the background. So yeah, it's been challenging. The neighbor front in particular, the kid front, those guys, I got 2 sons that are young, and I think they mostly like what I'm doing.
I hope so.
Mostly.
Yeah, I mean, you give them an allowance or something. I mean, I'm not talking payola or anything, but anyway, all right. Well, tell me the name of the song you're going to do, and let me know if there's a backstory or something to it. Yeah,
the song I'm going to play is Can't Remember. A long time ago, I was dating a woman who would later become my wife, and is still my wife, fortunately.
All right.
But she was working. She spent a lot of time in fine dining, and I spent a lot of time going into her fine dining restaurant and feeling very out of place. And, her behind the bar and me talking to her and, her doing her job while I was getting more and more intoxicated. So I kind of stepped into the thought process of myself as a young man like that and wrote this song, Can't Remember. That's kind of the backstory on that. Fortunately, we're still together, so I must have made some kind of impression.
All right, super. Well, let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Can't remember. Can't remember. I can't remember. Was it December? Was in an altered state. Felt no static. She was automatic behind the serving trays. Smart money's on the ramble. What you say now? Smart money's on the race. Telling her my confession from the wrong side of his bar. You can't tell me she don't sleep with ghosts. She sleeps with ghosts. Sleeps with ghosts. Sleeps with ghosts. Can't remember. Can't remember. Barely remember. She makes her mind bender. Suddenly breaks space. Back of the hall. Don't try to stall. Them to leave me fade. Cooler heads, don't worry about it. What you say now? Ain't got time to waste. Telling her my confession. She said I'm headed for a fall. You can't tell me she don't sleep with ghosts. Sleeps with ghosts. Sleeps with ghosts. Sleeps with a ghost. Lost connections you can't buy. I could drink the barroom dry. Love the force to save me from that call. Stick with a program that don't make sense. Call it happy accidents. Always so unconventional. But why come here? You know I wanted to, but now I'm compromised. Maybe she locked me down. I gotta go another way. Could you bringing me down? I don't want to stoop so low, low. Can't remember, just can't remember.
My, how time flies.
So one thing I also learned about delivering a mesmerizing TED Talk is you need to have a really strong closing statement. You want to leave the audience feeling that they've been enlightened, exposed to information that they could not have received anywhere else. That's what I need to bring right now in wrapping up this episode. I would appreciate if everyone now would keep quiet
I would be willing to give you a few pointers on public speaking after the show. We all know that's not really your strong suit, and I don't like to toot my own horn, but I am a really good public speaker. My church asks me to speak. Oh, Mrs. Jarvis, it's true. My church asks me to speak all the time. I handle weekly announcements. I'm the MC at the cakewalk all the time, and I'm continually asked to make a speech at family funerals and reunions, everything like that.
Yeah, and no one makes speeches or anything at our family reunions. We do enjoy ourselves, though. The Goodmans are a spirited group, and occasionally fisticuffs will break out, especially when everyone has had a few wine coolers. And Dorothy, I don't think your fiancé Chance can take a punch, so keep that in mind for future family things.
Well, I have been hesitant to invite my sweetie Chance to our next gathering.
Yeah, but with this pandemic, I heard it was going to be like a Zoom thing regarding the reunion, so he should be okay watching it on an iPad at his parents'.
Don't you worry about me. I can handle myself if a fight breaks out. I took a few karate lessons in junior high.
Mrs. Jarvis, I believe that your fiance is attempting to prove his manhood to you. It would be really wise if you made him feel secure in his masculinity before he acts out trying to impress you.
Look, you guys have stepped on the extremely inspiring closing statement I had planned, and now we're out of time. All right? Thanks a lot. Whatever. I am Spud Goodman. Be all that you can be, and I mean that. God bless and ciao.
Bye-bye.
When I do get out of these chains, I would be glad to display my karate skills to you guys. It's been a while, but once you're proficient in the ancient Eastern arts, it becomes part of your being.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
No, but Spud, I want to show you my karate skills if I could just get out of the chains. God. Oh, I can't do that in chain.